Hey everybody, it's time for cooking with Joe and Kathy.
Yep. And today is Mother's Day. So with us today, we got our good friend Melissa and her two kids, and they're going to be joining us. Today we're cooking pork chops. And these are pretty much going to be standard type pork chops with a little extra seasoning just to spice things up a bit.
But not as spicy as last week.
No. And my apologies to Jimmy Cannon for last week, man. I didn't mean to kill you with that sauce.
And we're also going to be serving up some eggplant bites with a garlic pesto aioli. So with that, we're going to turn things over to Joe, and he's going to tell you about what he's going to do with the pork chops.
All right. Let's bring this old camera over here.
Okay.
And always, before we get started, I like to start off things with a good old shot of tequila. So, cheers to you, if you're drinking at home.
Hey, Cynthia, thanks for joining us again this week.
And of course, Cynthia Lanier, hey, how you doing?
And one thing we'd like to say on Mother's Day today, if you join us today, throw out your mom's name out there, tag her in the video so she can join in with us as well.
Yep. All right. So we got a few pork chops in. These actually are bone in. I actually deboned a few of them here because we got some kids eating with us, and kids don't like dealing with bones. So, anyways, this is the basic thing we're going to do. I'm going to start with a little olive oil and just kind of brush over them. And for pork, usually, for pork and chicken, I always give like a good coating of olive oil. For red meat, no, you don't have to use anything at all, really. So I'm just going to coat them all here on both sides. And then we'll get our spices on here.
So the spices that we're using today has come from the Spice and Tea Exchange downtown Greenville.
Yes. Great place to go. Check them out. They're on Facebook. You can look them up. Just look up Spice and Tea Exchange. You can also go to spiceandtea.com. And if you're ever on Main Street and just looking for some spices for your food, man, they've got all kind of spices, teas, salts, sugars, dried herbs, all kinds of stuff, man.
And they'll actually let you open up everything and smell it before you buy it, because I know that's a huge thing with me, is getting to smell things before you buy them, because you might have a scent in there that you don't like. So just ask them and they'll let you probably try it as well.
Alright, so I'm going to turn these over and get the other side good and coated with olive oil.
So what kind of spices did you decide to use today?
Okay, well, give me a second.
Okay.
You're rushing me now. Good food takes time.
So joining us today is Melissa and her kids. Say hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Glad y'all could join us today.
Yeah. So we're getting them good and coated, and I'll show you what I'm getting ready to put on. And I always say the salt and pepper every time, if cooking meats, you always want your food seasoned. This time I'm going to use a hickory smoked sea salt that comes from the Spice and Tea Exchange. I don't know if the light's glaring. Okay, well, let's get a little closer here.
There you go.
And it's pretty much just sea salt smoked over hickory logs, and for a long time. So it comes out this color. You can kind of see that there. And we're going to start with that. I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit on top. If I can get the bag open. All right. So.
And this hickory smoked sea salt smells amazing and tastes even better.
Oh, yes. They do some really good stuff at the Spice and Tea Exchange. So we're going to start with that with all. Not to get a little too generous on that.
Exactly.
And also, well, let me go ahead and put good old pepper on it as well.
And your sister Lynn is online with us now as well.
Hey, Lynn, how you doing? Happy Mother's Day to you. And, all right, so... all right. So now we're going to also use this smoked barbecue rub that we also got from the Spice and Tea Exchange. And it's got all kinds of stuff. It's smoked paprika, brown sugar, salt, black pepper, chipotle pepper, garlic, onion, bunch of ingredients. And like I said, you know, they usually mix them there at the store. So, you know, they're always making combinations of different kinds of things. So go check them out. Check them out online. And we use it all the time. So I'm going to get busy.
And another thing you can use this seasoning here on besides just pork is it makes really great seasoning to use on potato chips, homemade potato chips. You know, slice your potatoes really thin, kind of dry them off a little bit, sprinkle the seasoning on. You can use either a microwave chip maker like I've got, or you can do them in the oven as well. Just put a little bit of oil on your pan in the oven, put them on there, and bake them until they're nice and crispy, or however crispy you'd like them.
We'll get to that in a show one of these days, more than likely. So I'm just going to sprinkle this on here. I think we need a little bit.
At least it's not got ghost peppers in it.
Exactly. Yeah. See, she's ragging on me, and rightly so. Needless to say, sometimes you follow recipes and you mess up, which I did. And like I said, once a man has admitted he's wrong, he is automatically forgiven. So that's going to be basically it for the pork chops. I'm going to get the other side of these seasoned and probably let them sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. You can let them sit as long as you want, really. I'd say no more than an hour. But I'm going to turn this thing over to Kathy right now. She's going to hook up some eggplant for us in our deep fryer.
Absolutely. Most of the time we try to eat pretty healthy, but sometimes you just got to have something fried. So we're going to have some fried eggplant bites with the garlic pesto aioli. I've modified the recipe from what I posted online. Just having a little bit of fresh basil in here. So let me see, that looks pretty good. There we go. And before the show, I cut up our eggplant into little, about 1-inch cubes, 1.5 inch, something like that. And what you're going to want to do with the eggplant is put it in a colander and sprinkle a little bit of salt on it, toss it about a little bit. And what that does, it draws out the extra moisture out of it so it's not all soggy. And that way everything will crisp up in the fryer. Now you could also do this in the oven, put you some oil in a pan, put the eggplant bites on top of that and put it in a really hot oven, like about 425 degrees. And you'll want to turn it, ever so often just to make sure everything's evenly browned. But you can certainly do this in the oven and it'd be a little bit healthier alternative than the deep fryer like I'm going to use today. So, Hallie, if you'd like to come be my little assistant, I'd appreciate it. And we can get you to wash your hands right here in the sink real quick. Some of that soap right there. Hallie's going to be my little assistant today. She's going to hold the bag open while I dump the eggplant bites in there. So, now, I think I said last week, I hate doing dishes. It's absolutely one of my least favorite chores ever. There you go. So instead of using the 3-bowl method that most people use to bread and deep fry things, I use the Ziploc baggie method. I've got just plain old all-purpose flour in this one. I've got 3 eggs with some water in this one for our egg wash. And in this baggie, I've got equal parts of panko breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese, just the regular old craft style Parmesan cheese that's grated up, and this is the panko breadcrumbs. And I've got a little bit of salt and pepper in here, and I also have used one of the Spice and Tea Exchange seasonings, which is the Tuscan seasoning. So that's going to give it a little bit of an Italian flavor. So Hallie, if you will be so kind as to hold that bag open for me. And everybody, this is Hallie. Say hello. Now I tell tell you what, I love having kids in the kitchen. Little story about my grandmother. I started out, I was younger than you, Hallie, helping my grandmother in the kitchen. And that's actually where I learned how to cook, was from her. And I absolutely love cooking because of my grandmother. That was my dad's mom. And happy Mother's Day in heaven to her. So we're going to, this is just like one kind of a medium to large size eggplant that I cut up today. You want to peel it first, then cut it up into cubes. So we got all our eggplant here in the flour. And then we're going to seal it up real good. And then we're just going to shake it up like so. Just like that. All right, now I'm going to have you hold this bag open for me. This is our egg wash, and pretty much what we're going to do is just take all the eggplant bites, and we're going to kind of shake them off. I've got a slotted spoon here, and we're just going to shake as much flour off as we can. You're going to get dirty here, sweetie. It's inevitable, but that is okay. So we're just going to dump these little eggplant bites in here. And I'm not going to do all of them at the same time, so we're just going to toss them around like so. And then we're going to get another slotted spoon. And if you will hold this baggie open. And then we're just going to take the eggplant out of the egg wash and dump them right down in there. And this definitely saves a lot of dishwashing time later. You can just take and toss the baggies in the trash and never look back. Yeah, dishes is absolutely my most despised chores. How about you, Hallie? You like doing dishes? No, I don't think there's anybody.
She does like doing dishes.
You do? Well, you can come over here and wash dishes for me anytime. All right, and then once we have that, we're going to shake that up. And we're just going to leave these sitting here for right now, but whenever we get ready to fry them, we're just going to take them out and put them directly into our deep fryer. The oil needs to be at least 360 degrees or hotter. That way it's not going to get the grease down into the food itself. It's just going to get everything nice and crispy and brown on the outside. Sound good, Hallie? All right. You want to help me with the aioli?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to set this aside for right now. We'll finish it up here in just a little bit. Get that in the fryer. That way we can eat it closer to time for the pork chops to be done. So before the show, I chopped up 4 different kinds of basil out of our garden. And hello, Joyce.
Yep,
Thanks for joining us. And Connie, I'm glad to see that you joined us this week as well. I've got 4 different kinds of basils in our garden right now. I've got your regular sweet basil that everybody pretty much knows, and you know, it's just kind of your standard basil. I've also got a red Reuben basil, which the leaves are a beautiful dark purple. A African blue basil, which has got a little bit of a spiciness about it, and a cinnamon basil, which is kind of a little bit of spicier kind of basil as well. So before the show, I chopped up all 4 of the basils together. I had just like a little small handful. And to that, we're going to add some mayonnaise to that. This is not very different from the aioli that we did a few weeks ago with the asparagus. We're just not using the roasted red peppers, and we're using basil instead. All right, Miss Hallie, if you want to squeeze all the juice, we're going to do the juice of 1 lemon. So just squeeze it right over top of that. Good girl. Okay. Here, I'll squeeze this half. Just set that aside. All right. Well, we've got a couple of seeds in here, so we don't want to have that in our sauce. So we're just going to pick those seeds right out. All right. And then we're going to, let me turn this a little bit this way so everybody can see what's going on. All right. So we've got the juice of a lemon with the basil. We're going to put a couple of heaping spoonfuls of some mayonnaise. And that looks good. So I'd say about anywhere between a half to a cup full of mayonnaise will be good. I always use Duke's. To me, it's the best kind of mayonnaise out there. It is. And we're going to do a little bit of salt and pepper. Just kind kind of eyeball that a little bit. And then we're going to put a clove of fresh garlic. It looks like Jerry wants to say something. Scotty.
Yeah, old Scotty Hodge is on. Yeah. Melissa says hello as well. Man.
Absolutely, Scotty. We need to have you on our show sometime too, so you can play a few tunes for us.
Most definitely. Scotty Hodge is a terrific singer and a excellent trumpet player. So.
All right, and we're going to add a clove of fresh garlic, and then I'm going to let Hallie stir this up for us. And if you'll just get that all stirred up, just get down in there and get all that basil mixed up real good.
All right.
Okay.
So we're back. We're having some technical difficulties today, but either way, we're going to keep on keeping on. I got Nick out here filming for me today. Appreciate it, bud.
No problem.
So once again, you'll want to keep your grill on kind of a medium-high heat for cooking pork. The main thing about cooking pork, you don't want to cook it too long because it'll dry out quickly. So we're going to temp this at about 160 degrees while we grill. So with that being said, show y'all how good and spiced these things are. It's already smelling good off the meat right now, so we're going to go ahead and throw these on the grill. Listen to that good sizzle on that. Like they said in wrestling back in the day, can you smell what the Rock is cooking? So, we're going to get these on the grill here. And typically, I try to do about 5 to 7 minutes on each side. Oh man, this is smelling good off the grill. You smell that, Nick?
Yeah, it smells good.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, we're going to give this a quick close here. We're going to give this a couple of minutes here to just kind of sizzle, and we're going to turn them a little bit just so they're cooking evenly. So, at this point, I want to do a special Mother's Day tribute. My mom was the biggest fan of the song Purple Rain, and I learned how to play it just for her back when I was, good Lord, maybe 14 or 15 years old. And so today I just want to do Purple Rain for Mom. Mom, I love you to death. Miss you every day. You know, I still can't believe you're gone. So this one's for you. Never meant to cause you any sorrow. Never meant to cause you any pain. Only wanted one time to see you laughing. I only want to see you laughing in the purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. I only want to see you bathing in a purple rain. Never wanted to be your weekend lover. Only want to be some kind of friend. Yeah. Baby, I can never steal you from another. It's such a shame our friendship had to end. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. I only want to see you underneath the bubble. Honey, I know, times are changing. Time I reached out for something new that means you too. Say you want a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. Think you better close it. Let me guide you to the purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. I only want to see you laughing in the purple rain. Love you, Mom. Miss you every single day. So, let's get back to these pork chops now. Oh, yeah, got it smelling good on the grill. What we're going to do, we're going to give them a quarter turn each. Try and get my tongs to work.
How's it going out here, guys?
Going pretty good.
Sounding pretty good out here, too, from what it sounded like.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so that was for your mom and my mom.
Yep.
Right on. Yeah, Mom absolutely loved hearing you play.
Right on.
Sure do miss my mom and your mom.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're frying up the eggplant bites right now, so we're going to keep things out here on you guys. And I don't know if you were planning on playing anything else while it's still cooking or not. But
Actually, let's go ahead and take a small break right now while I got these cooking, and we'll come back in just a few minutes when I turn these things over.
all right, sounds like a plan. Come back soon for Cooking with Kathy and Joe.
For real, though.
And welcome back, everybody. I'm in the kitchen right now and frying up the eggplant bites right now. We still got another batch or so to get done on those. Let me show you those in the fryer. See how nice and golden brown they're looking. They are going to be so delicious. So we're going to go back out here, and Nick, can I get your help again, please, sir? Just another minute. All right, we're going to go out here with Joe. He's finishing up things out here on the grill. Let me camera back your way. All right, Joe.
All right, so these pork chops are now right around 150 degrees. And for those of y'all just tuning in with us or coming back with us, welcome back. I got these seasoned just right. Get a good picture of those, Nick, for me. You see, you got a nice good char on the outside. And like I said, you don't want to cook it too long because you see the juices popping up on top. You want to retain these juices. You don't want your pork to dry out too much. So we've got a few minutes more here. Once again, happy Mother's Day out there. And we're just cooking up something good. Unfortunately, Kathy and I lost both our moms since meeting each other. And so both our moms love to cook. And you know, so this show is dedicated to them today, just to let them know that, you know, we still remember everything they taught us about cooking. So, way we're looking right here, I think we got about 5 more minutes before these are good and done. And we gonna take a pause. All right, so we are back. We've been having technical difficulties today all over the place, but
Yeah, so we apologize for that, but we appreciate y'all sticking with us throughout the show. We're getting ready to plate everything up right now, so this will be our last segment for the Cooking with Joe and Kathy show. Well, actually, we'll probably come back with a little post-show commentary so everybody can know how everything turned out.
Yep.
So
let's show you what we did. So we got the pork chops done here. Like I said, these were bone-in pork chops, nice seasoned. Got a good char on them, and cooked them up to about 180 degrees. So they're kind of cooling down now. Like I said, you don't want to cook pork for too long because it'll easily dry out on you. So you'll always use like a medium-high heat on your grill. And, it usually takes about 15 minutes or so, especially with ones these thick. Thicker ones, maybe 20 to 25 minutes. But you'll just want the temperature between 160 to 170 usually. And that's generally for any kind of grilled meats. You make sure you cook it and kill everything bad inside. And Kathy has hooked up these nice little eggplant bites over here that she deep fried, nice and golden brown and looking good.
Yep, and one thing about the oil, you want to have it at least 360 degrees so you're not getting the food itself saturated with the oil. It's just going to be nice and light and crispy on the outside. And then we've got a garlic pesto aioli here that we made to go with it. And with that, yep, it's going to be super yummy. And as I said, we've got our special guests today, Melissa, Hallie, and Nick. Thank y'all for y'all's help. And we're going to sit down and we're going to eat. So thank you for joining us today on Cooking with Joe and Kathy.
Most definitely. Remember, go to the Spice and Tea Exchange. Check out their spices and everything. Let them know that you heard about it through us. Joe and Kathy on the Facebook Cooking Show. Once again, happy Mother's Day.
And happy Mother's Day to my mom in heaven.
Yep. So it's time for us to eat.
All right, bon appetit.
All right.
And hashtag eat something good.
So we are back and we are chowing down. So how's everybody liking it?
It's really good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Right on.
And we even got some converts here on eggplant that thought they wasn't going to like it, right?
Yeah.
Right on.
A mouthful.
All right. Well, for joining us again this week. We'll be back next week. We'll announce probably Tuesday or Wednesday what we're going to have next week. And just to let everybody know, on the weekend of Memorial Day, May 29th, we will not be having a show that weekend. We're going to try and take one weekend a month off just for ourselves. So we'll keep you all updated as things go along. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next Sunday.
All right. And happy Mother's Day. And yes, I'm eating with my hands because I'm from the South.
And we'll see y'all next week.